The government talked a lot about fairness in its budget, but simply saying fairness doesn't make it so. Just like talking about protecting Medicare doesn't keep it safe. Look at what the Prime Minister was doing only a week ago, standing on a warship with President Trump, congratulating him on dismantling public health in the US. People aren't going to be fooled by the Medicare Guarantee Fund. It's a glorified bank account. It does nothing to improve our health system or to protect Medicare. Of course, rather than taking responsibility for their failures, they've chosen the well-worn path of the right. They blame easy targets, they look at foreigners and people doing it tough and blame them. So this is a budget that uses racist dog whistles to encourage resentment and scapegoating. Look no further than changes to 457 visas, to the foreign investment tax and to the new citizenship test. All the while, the Australian government continues to torture innocent refugees and people seeking asylum in offshore detention camps at a cost of $573,000 per person each year. And of course, we saw the predictable attacks on people who receive income support. Now, Treasury has forecasted unemployment to remain above 5% over the next 4 years. Now, what that means really simply is that there are more people than jobs. But rather than acknowledge that, we have got this disgraceful, this shameful, this discriminatory proposal for mandatory drug testing. As somebody who's worked as a drug and alcohol clinician, let me give the government a few tips. By the time someone is addicted to an illicit drug, they've often lost their job. Their marriage is often broken down. They've got no contact with their family. They might have even contracted a disease like hepatitis C. They might be living out of their car or on the streets. Now, if all of that isn't enough to stop someone from using drugs, what fool thinks that taking away income support is going to succeed? All they're going to do is be driven further into despair and find other ways to get their money to buy drugs. And it's not just about people being addicted to drugs. If we open this gateway to government applying a morality test for government support, what's next? I mean, we are setting a very dangerous precedent. Imagine failing a drug test because you take a pill at a festival or smoke a joint and losing your HECS funding as a result, or losing access to Medicare or the pension. It's a dangerous move by the government, and there is no way it will pass the Senate on our watch.